In the past week or two, I've had more and more people ask me if I have any fears or concerns about traveling with the coronavirus and if I've made any changes to my travel plans. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. If this is your first time on the channel, I'm going to ask that you subscribe by clicking my face in the corner and ring that bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. As you can see, I am making this video in a hotel room because I'm on the road, I'm traveling. So that should answer one of the first questions that I asked in my introduction. Am I afraid to travel under all of this concern and fear and sometimes even panic with the coronavirus? And I'm here to tell you I have very little fears. But I want to talk to you about it because I know a lot of you may have some travel plans coming up. You may not be frequent travelers and you may be wondering, what concerns do we really need to have? And what am I seeing when I'm out here traveling? Well, I am seeing changes, first of all, in the travel. I'm starting to notice little things. For example, this morning, now I don't know if this was just a coincidence, but I'll show you some snapshots that I took on the plane. My plane was only about 2/3 to 3/4 full. I was surprised at how few people were on the plane this morning. And generally, when I have to look for an upgrade, it happens the day of, or maybe even when I'm sitting at the gate. This time, several days out, I went to select a seat, and right there, in my case, I'm flying with Delta, and Comfort Plus was available at no charge to me. Generally, I don't see that many days out. And as I walked through the terminal in Detroit, I was noticing the traffic, at least it seemed to be a lot less than it normally is. And I'm talking foot traffic within the terminals. And as you can see in the video, there aren't a lot of people waiting by the gates. Now, is this a coincidence? Very possibly it is. So I don't want to jump to conclusions and say, oh my goodness, look what's happening because of coronavirus. But I've also been getting lots and lots and lots of emails. So obviously the hotels and the airlines are concerned. So I'll just look at a couple of these, and most of them are pretty much the same. This one says, "Dear Mark, I consider you part of our united family, and your safety remains our highest priority." It talks specifically to coronavirus, and it references the Center for Disease Control, World Health Organization, talks about things to do before you fly. It talks about things that they're doing, how they are cleaning the planes more thoroughly. I have very similar things here from Southwest and from Delta. Southwest actually gives us a link where they are showing their people in a video cleaning the planes and going through additional things that they do to clean the planes. For example, they talk about they're using special care on high-touch areas like interior windows and shades, belt buckles, armrests, that sort of thing. And every one of these airlines, I have another one here from Delta, are talking about such things as the aircraft, check-in kiosks, gate areas. They're talking about making hand sanitizer available. One thing that each of these airline emails talk to is the air filtration system. I think it's sort of an urban legend that on airplanes the air is not clean. And they are reassuring us, every single one of these, that they have HEPA quality air filtration systems, and every one of these compare that to the air filtration systems in hospitals. And I know that to be true, that the air filtration systems in airplanes are very, very good. Now, what do I do personally in order to accommodate this? I haven't changed a lot. I have always really paid attention to surfaces on the planes. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I always travel with wet wipes, and I wipe down just about every area where I'm sitting. The armrest, especially that tabletop. The headrest where I'm resting my head, the seat belts, everything gets a thorough wipe down from me And I also have wet wipes that I wipe my hands with. Now the hand sanitizer I wipe the seating area is sometimes the same. Right now I'm carrying, I think the brand is Clorox that I'm carrying right now. It's not intended for hands, it's intended for wiping down surfaces. And then I have a gentler wet wipe for the hands, but I do take that precaution, but I always have. I also carry the hand sanitizer. I have been noticing, for example, when I checked into my hotel room now, they have large bottles of hand sanitizer. I don't always see that when I check into hotels. So hotels are taking measures as well. I've also been getting similar emails from hotels. One of the things hotels are saying is that they are broadening their cancellation policies in order to discourage people from coming to the hotels if they are not feeling well, or if they are afraid of contracting the virus. They don't want to lose that business. One thing that I want to be sure of, and I would caution you against, is don't panic. Don't panic. This is not a panic situation. This is not even as widespread as a flu. And I know some people are saying, I'm tired of hearing it compared to the flu, but that's a really good comparison, because we don't panic when people get the flu, but for some reason we're panicking about this one because it's new, it's unknown, relatively unknown, even though coronaviruses have been around. And so people are afraid. Don't be afraid. I know that there's a lot of hyperbole out there because the news media, they're latching on to something that people are interested in. So they are going to hype it up because it gets them viewers and it gets them readers. There are some politicians that are doing the same thing. You know, it's a way that they can try to connect with their voting base and all that. We have to learn how to weed through that and really look for the facts. Some of the more factual information that I am getting are directly from the CDC website and from my local state website. So I would encourage you to go there. I'm also listening to what the healthcare professionals themselves have to say. Just the other day, I was listening to a healthcare professional on the radio, an epidemiologist, I believe that's the term, who's an expert in these things. So what am I changing? I am not changing much at all. I have always been very cautious and aware of germs and that sort of thing. I'm not phobic, but since I do travel so much, I don't want to get sick. So I've always had that awareness. Is it a little more acute right now? Maybe, but I don't think so, because I'm not going to let panic set in. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think we make good decisions when we are in panic mode. I think that there are reasonable, rational measures being taken. I think that reasonable accommodations and warnings are being put out. And I think we all have to make our own decision. But I can tell you I am not going to change any of my travel plans. What else am I not going to do? I'm going to stay away from things like any place where people eat communally. For example, whenever you go to an Indian restaurant, on the way out, they always have that little bowl. I don't know what it is. They look like little jimmies and they taste kind of licoricey. Well, it's always a bowl there that you just scoop in and put it in your hand. I'm not going to eat from things like that. They are too open to contamination. I know that, for example, I'm just grasping at straws here because I know that salad bars, for example, are not real widespread any longer, but topping bars and those sort of things that you sometimes see at restaurants, I am not going to utilize those. Those have been sitting out there in the open, and there is a possibility that people may have coughed or sneezed in those areas, and so I just don't want to really open myself up to that. What am I not going to do? I'm not going to wear a mask. For one thing, I think it's overkill. For another thing, the experts are saying wearing the mask has really little or no effect anyway. So that is my take. That is my look at the coronavirus, or what are they calling it now, COVID-19. And I'm going to continue to travel. My advice, and I would say don't take advice, first of all, from someone with a YouTube channel, unless they're a medical professional, right? I mean, follow the news, from the professionals. Don't listen to the talking head, because they're not a professional. They just want your views. But really listen to the people who are in charge and really know what's going on and have the facts. And travel safely. Thanks for watching, everyone. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos.